spectators. The NWAC asks that you support our mission by supporting the participants and the officials in a respectful manner. Racial comments, threats, intimidating actions, or racial comments directed at student athletes, officials, coaches, team representatives, or game management will not be tolerated and are grounds for immediate removal from the gym. Also, the possession and consumption of alcohol beverages is strictly prohibited. And now, ladies and gentlemen, before we make our announcements, would you please rise for our national anthem?
Check.
Yeah. And it will be sung for us today by our good friend, Mr. Rick Stockdale.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Mr. Rick Stockdale, thank you. Beautiful job. And now we'll introduce the Visiting Columbia Basin Lady Hawks. And first, we will introduce the non-starters. Number 3, Sierra Perez. 5, Holly Ellison. Number 22, Stephanie Gibson. 23, Kaylee Matheson. 25, Anna Lydia Villa. 34, Emily Botkin. And number 44, Amber Jones. And now the starting lineup for the Lady Hawks with a season record of 17-12 and a region record of 9-5. Number 10, Alexis Higginbotham, a 5'8" freshman of Zilla. Number 21, Kylie Garrick, a 5'5" sophomore of New Plymouth, Idaho. Number 24, True Tucker, a 5'6" sophomore of Ellensburg, Washington. Number 32, Marissa Caballero, a 5'7" sophomore of Grandview. Number 35, Kayla Jones, a 5'10" freshman of White Swan. Head coach, Mr. Darren Santo, assisted by Alexandria Allen. And now the starting lineup for the Lady Blazers, the non-starter, Alicia Cooper Tabasola, Sydney Cole Vogler. Number 14, Katie Whitten, a 5' freshman of La Center. Number 22, Susan Kinney, a 5'5" sophomore of Cedar Crest. Number 24, Alicia Sorensen, a 5'8" sophomore of Freeman. 32, Tiana Thompson, a 5'9" freshman of Skyview. Number 34, Monty Cooper, a 5'10 freshman of Linwood. Blazers with a season record of 22-7 and a region record of 13-1. Head coach, Mr. Shane Schutz, assisted by Caleb Sales and Joe Milton.
Thank you so much, Jerry Owens. I am Luke Kilgore alongside Mark Gregory as we get set for this tip. Big implications. It's win or go home, Mark.
Yeah, real big deal. We've seen Blazers play real good coming in this game. Just one loss against Lower Columbia, which in the second game of that they went back and crushed them. So, I mean, the Blazers, I think the obvious, just based on their record, the favorites in this game, Columbia Basin, the underdogs, but sometimes in these types of games, the record doesn't mean a lot because sometimes it depends on the strength of the conference or strength of the division in this case.
Definitely. As Kayla Jones is set to tip against Monty Cooper. And we're off. Alicia Sorensen grabs the tip from Cooper. We have Katie Witten on the right wing. Drives through contact. Kicks it to Susan Kenny. At the top of the key, there's Cooper. Witten, right wing, drives into the lane. Here's Alicia Sorensen for three, left wing, and no good on the first shot of the evening. Driving the other way, we have Alexis Higginbotham. She kicks it. And there's a wide open three top of the key, and that is no good. Marissa Caballero. We have a foul call.
The call is over the back there and the rebound.
So that one's going to go on Tiana Thompson. It's her first. Here is Higginbotham. That last three attempt by Caballero, she's our leading scorer. Another wide open look. You'd think you'd get up on her, but it's no good. Caballero averaging 14.7 points per game coming into this one. Katie Witten driving the lane, one of the shortest girls, no good. Rebound, putback, also no good by Tiana Thompson. And we're running in transition. Left corner, short corner, extended, driving in. There's Higginbotham. True Tucker. And then there's Caballero feeding it to Kayla Jones as she drives. Kick out, jumper just inside the three-point line is no good. Monty Cooper grabs it and is strong. That might have been something, but she throws up a brick, not just kind of, a very fast-paced game to start, but no one has scored.
Yeah, a lot going on, and they're getting good looks.
All of them.
Taking good looks.
Absolutely.
I think both teams are probably just going to look to kind of settle down here and just make some of these shots.
Oh, I definitely agree. As Susan Kenny, her shot is blocked. She wanted the contact. We're going the other way. A sloppy pass there, and just off the front iron is the layup attempt by True Tucker, sophomore out of Ellensburg. Susan Kenny gets the handoff behind the timeline from Monty Cooper. Expect some noise, definitely, in this one, whether it's from the bench or the visiting crowd. Blazers getting that home court advantage here in the playoffs. 3-second violation in the paint. We're going the other way. It's 7:50 and it's still scoreless, Mark.
Yeah, like we're just talking about, lots of good shots, real fast-paced game. We've seen lots of possessions, and that's kind of why it's so unusual. Here we are, 3 minutes in, just about 2.5 minutes in with 0 points.
So here we are with the Lady Hawks. Driving in, there's a jumper from Caballero, nothing but net, but that was a 2 just inside. Or maybe that was Kayla Jones. So Jones credited with the bucket there. Driving in is Witten, kicks it to Sorensen, nice jab step, she goes left, kicks it back to Witten, left corner. Witten, nice fake, there's Susan Kenny for 3, she can knock it down, she's short. So the Lady Hawks with the only bucket of this one so far. And maybe one more. Here's a jumper, short corner. Up and good by Kaylee Garrick. So the Lady Hawks taking the momentum here.
Yeah, we're really seeing them play a fast-paced offense.
Well, and instead of going straight to the bucket, I mean, they're kicking out for those easy looks.
No, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, they're getting the defensive board and just taking down the court.
They're really pushing it on both ends. Here's Katie Witten driving it. She takes a jump stop. right wing, Monty Cooper, she can hit him. Doesn't take him very often, though, and doesn't find pay dirt on that one. Was that a foul call? No. So, out of bounds, and we're going the other way. Lady Hawks. I feel like, Mark, once the Blazers finally get that first bucket, they can start calming down. But until then, it's going to be pretty hectic. Let's hope they can get it soon.
Well,
easy drive.
You've seen this defense, they like to do the full court press. It's really tough to do if you don't score any baskets. They kind of set up on defense, set up. And,
right, if you're in a permanent transition spot, you can't really get adjusted. So Sorensen gets her first foul, second team foul for the Blazers. This is Kayla Jones at the line, sinking the front half, or the front end of the two shots. As Sydney Cole-Vogler checks in for the Blazers, Monty Cooper takes a seat.
Jones not the leading scorer, but the Hawks, 3 players in double digits, including Jones.
So Kayla Jones making her presence felt right away in this one.
And Jones, the leading rebounder for the Hawks.
At 5, what is that, 5'10".
5.7? Oh, 5.
Susan Kenny gets it stolen away, and they can't hold on to it. Kenny gets back on defense, but there's a wide open layup up and good by True Tucker, and Shane Schutz has seen enough. He's got to call this timeout. I mean, you could have called it sooner and it would have been too late.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things.
Yeah, that's exactly how you want to start the game for the Hawks. I mean, what they're doing has been working. You know, and they land a few more of these layups, and they've scored even more points. So obviously what they're doing is working. Like you said, crucial for the Blazers, I think, to make a shot here, kind of slow things down a little bit.
You know, and transition is usually, that's usually the Blazers controlling the tempo, and they're pushing the pace. But so far, the Lady Hawks have imposed their will on the Centralia Trailblazers, and they're playing Trailblazer ball, and thus far they're playing it better.
It's, you know, like I said, sometimes the record, depending on what division you play in, doesn't really say the caliber of team.
Well,
so,
and something.
This could be a lot more equal, is what I mean to say, than a 4th seed against a 4th seed.
Something to notice here as Katie Witten gets the open look, opts not to take it in the right wing. Driving in, here's Cole Vogler. She forces it up, but she draws the foul. But that's one thing to look at. I mean, we say this every time, and usually depth is not a problem because Shane Schutz runs a very solid, consistent rotation. But we've got 14 players on this roster for the Lady Hawks, so they have a deep bench that they could go to forever.
Oh, yeah, I mean, we look at points per game. We look at rebounds. You have a lot of players here contributing something, scoring 4, 5, 6, 7 points a game. So really a deep team, no doubt about it.
Cole Vogler, no good. So still scoreless are the Trailblazers. They're kind of just taken aback at this point. Alicia Sorensen with the block. She'll take the high five, but she just wants to get on the board at this point. Great defensive play there by Sorensen, staying focused. The sophomore leader, this is her last ball game at Michael Smith Gymnasium. And you know she's feeling that. Great pass by Witten, but Tiana Thompson not able to grab it. Stop. Stuck in the paint. Driving in from the left wing and drawing the foul. That might be Jones again. Yes, that is Kayla Jones. So thus far, the Blazers have no answer for Kayla Jones.
Really good tempo move that you see from a forward there, getting the ball, kind of dribbling, pivoting with it, and going up and drawing the fall. So, I mean, really smart play by Jones.
First free throws up and in as Monty Cooper checks in for Tiana Thompson. The Lady Hawks lead 9-0 right now. 5:19 left in this first quarter. Not something we're used to seeing.
No. Well, although I will say this, we have seen them start slow in the first half and really methodically catch up to them in the second half. So sometimes they've been a slow starting team. Not this slow, but.
And there, finally, Katie Witten, whether it's the missed shot or a pass, Monty Cooper puts it in anyway. 10-2 now, Lady Hawks lead it. Sydney not falling for the jab step and the up fake. There's a wide open three and connects on it. Kayla Jones, she is heating up right now. 13-2. Columbia Basin leads this one right now. And Shane Schutz is not happy. Kenny kicks it to Sorensen. She drives in, she gets the layup, and nice floater is up and in.
A really nice left-handed layup there, and
here we are on the other side of the floor. Lonnie Cooper fronts.
Really, we're seeing a fast-paced offense here. In a sense, this is a tough matchup for the Blazers, I think, where they like that full-court press, but their offenses might be very capable of breaking that press and may not be quite the factor it is in some of these other games we've seen against teams that really like to set up in the offensive end.
Subbed in for the Lady Hawks, number 3, Sierra Perez, and number 5, Holly Ellison. Susan Kenny, she's in transition, but she gets it poked away and out of bounds. It's going to stay right there, Trailblazer ball. Great defensive play, because that's a layup.
Really good, and Kenny really showing her athleticism there, just sprinting between these two defenders. And yeah, like he said, very fortunate play in a sense.
Alicia Sorensen does not draw contact, is blocked, and she's going to draw the foul there as she's clobbered for the basketball. So Sorensen's going to be shooting 2. Anyway, the score is 13-4 still as Sorensen misses her first. That's uncharacteristic anyway. But this is a regional game. It's win or go home. This is how they get to the NWAC tournament.
Yeah, Sorensen, a good shooting player, scoring 13.8 points a game, second leading scorer on the team. And
Susan Kenny takes the errant pass and puts it in. She makes up for the 2 free throws missed by Sorensen right there. 13-6. Oh, they're going to call a foul. What's going to go on Monty Cooper? Yeah. Getting an array of boos from the Centralia student section. So that's the 14th foul for the Blazers, first on Monty Cooper. We're in transition. The Blazers, their press is being pretty well broken, except for Monty Cooper with the stuff. And it goes off of Kayla Jones, the first bad play she's made all game so far.
Real athletic play to catch up to that because they were really on the break. Now we substitution coming in here. 34, Emily Botkins, 6'1" center, freshman White Swan. So obviously the tallest player in the court, and we'll see if this is a factor.
Sydney, she fires from the top of the key, and she gets it to go. So now Coach Darren Santo takes a timeout. It's only a 4-point game. They came down from a 10-0 deficit. And now it's a 4-point game, 13-9. We're talking about that, how the Blazers just seem to chip away. But we don't usually see them start out, with a 10-0 deficit, but they caught up quick.
What was it, our last game, though? We saw them against
Grays Harbor? Was that the last game?
Grays Harbor, at halftime, I think it was a tie game, or it was pretty close to being a tie game. But in the end, it wasn't even close. So, slow start. Obviously, at this point, you're playing pretty good teams, and a slow start can hurt you.
Yeah, you need to play all 4 quarters consistently, and especially if they want to make it into the NWACs and make it far into the NWAC tournament.
And especially when this isn't like the NBA where you have 5 games. After 5 games, the best team will win. This is college ball. Win or go home, like you said.
And that was textbook with the full court press as just a sloppy pass gets intercepted by the Blazers. Here's Kenny at the right wing, kicks it to Katie Witten. She goes in, throws up a floater, and the hook goes in. See, that's the thing. She puts that ball where no one else can reach it. The nice left hook goes off the glass and up and in. 13-11, 2:57 remaining in this first quarter. This is Marissa Caballero, the lead scorer, kicking it to Kayla Jones, who's had a solid night thus far. Sierra Perez for 3 from the right wing off the back iron, and it gets tapped. Who touched it last? Looks like Columbia Basin touched it last, so we're going the other way.
Caballero there and didn't do anything really phenomenal, but she really demonstrated her ball handling skills. And they're trying to run this trap on her. You had about 3 Blazers over there, and really just able to get around them and really at least gave him a shot on the offensive end.
Well, that's something to pay attention to. For the most part, the Columbia Basin Lady Hawks have had had a pretty solid time breaking the press. I mean, they've had a few mistakes, but when you've got a press this difficult to break, that's going to happen. But so far, they've handled it well. So
yeah,
Witten.
besides, I think Kenny had that steal, but besides that, that's about as much success as you've seen. But nonetheless, here we are. Blazers down just by one, a chance to tie it up.
Alexis Higginbotham checks in. Tiana Thompson checks in for the Blazers. Katie Witten has a chance to knot this one up at 13. 2:28 left in the first quarter. And she does, off the nice shooter's roll. So here we are, tied up, 13-13. And able to recover that pass, that's Sierra Perez. Kicks it across court to Caballero. Holly Ellison, three, left corner, just short. And just backing Kenny down was that Caballero, and she gets her layup to go. Here's Kenny looking, right wing, takes the screen from Cole Vogler. Nothing doing there. Vogler drives in. Is she gonna opt? Take it? No, Tiana Thompson does, and she drives in. She's sandwiched, and a player control foul, offensive foul. That's a tough call. So, Tiana Thompson gets called for the player control foul. That is her second. That's something to keep an eye on. That is one thing in the last home game we saw is the Blazers getting in a little bit of foul trouble, and when you have 7 players, you can't afford that.
You know, sometimes obviously she's a very talented player, but it's also about giving your team options with the lineup. And even if she doesn't get fouled the game, you know, getting in foul trouble, it kind of limits what you can do.
So offensive foul on the other end by Thompson, but she's able to redeem herself by stopping that play for what was surely to be an easy layup. Inside, tallest girl on the court, but she can't handle it, and the Blazers pressure the ball out of her hands. Here's Kenny crossing half court.
Nothing fancy there, but sometimes a taller player like that, you can get a good look at the ball.
Not able to hold on to it that time. Kenny to Witten as Cole Vogler hits the deck. So that foul's going to go on Caballero. That's her first. Checked in for the Lady Hawks. There's Kendall Sage, 5'5", freshman out of Ephrata.
And like you said, very deep bench here. Her Sage averaging 5.5 points a game. So she can score.
Questionable shot selection there by Sorensen. She's promptly blocked behind the arc. Driving in, baseline. Cole Vogler's not letting her have it. That's Caballero. She gets it to Ellison, who drives in, and she draws the foul. I'd like to know where.
Yeah, really, you know, coach is wondering too, defensively, I don't know what you do. Usually say you go straight up, and you're in the clear. You know, I mean, it's usually when you reach forward that you end up drawing that.
She had one arm straight up and was just standing there. I mean, the pose that she held after the fact, usually people, you know, change it up. They actually did foul, but she kept the consistent stance, and that's a tough body call. So a 3-point lead for the Lady Hawks, 16-13, under a minute left in this first period. Here's Susan Kenny. She spins, drives, there's Katie Witten top of the key. She gets it to Thompson, drives baseline, kicks it back out to Kenny for 3. No, off the mark. So Kenny, usually knocked down, has missed her first couple. Kenny, though, that hustle on the defensive end is always going to be there, and she breaks up the play.
Yeah, that's the type of play we've seen her make all season long, almost acting like some kind of safety out there, backpedaling and then making a cut on the ball.
Sorensen, she's on Sierra Perez, who drives in, kicks it out to Sage. Cross court to Holly Ellison. There's the left corner to the baseline. Ellison left wing, no good. Took that shot, as I could say, in purgatory. Wasn't sure if she wanted to bank it or swish it, so there it sat on the back rim. So that foul is going to go on Alexis Higginbotham. That is her first and the 15th foul. So we're going to be shooting 2 free throws
Yeah, it looks like
on this
we have
end.
both teams in the bonus here. Luke in this first quarter. Obviously, with the depth that the Hawks have, maybe it's not as big of a deal for them as it is for the Blazers. But, you know, with 14 seconds left here, they'll likely go for the press, but you got to be real careful. You don't want to send them to the line with 14 seconds here. You'll make sure they earn it.
No, if we're talking about the fouling battle between these two teams, there's no question Columbia Basin's going to take that. So far, as the second free throw just rims in and out, lid on the bucket for some of these Blazers right now. 8 seconds. Columbia Basin's going to look for a clean look as Vogler knocks it away. Driving in, and there's a three-pointer. Why are you going to let her have that shot? But it's off the mark.
Right, you know, Witten, not nothing phenomenal there, but she moved her feet, made it difficult for her, and you know, not really that shot, no chance of going in. So, you know, good solid defense.
So 16-13 after the first quarter. Columbia Basin leads this one. The Lady Hawks really took the Blazers by surprise in the beginning, running it up 10-0 before the Blazers worked their way back in one big run. And here we stand, a 3-point deficit for the Lady Blazers going into the second quarter.
You're down a few points. Have we seen the Blazers make a free throw?
I think we had two,
hit a couple, but we've seen a lot of missed free throws.
which is very uncharacteristic of the Blazers squad.
You know, that's the type of thing that you can't really make an adjustment. You can't decide you're going to start making free throws. But, you know, going the second quarter here, if you're the Blazers, I think you want to just settle down simply and kind of play your game and not get this tournament structure get to you.
No, definitely. It is a playoff mindset, and you can tell that both teams are feeling it, especially with how they came out. And really, they were pushing it. They were looking for those open looks, and they were getting them, but just too excited and not getting their usual focused shots. I mean, we saw layups just going off the backboard and everything, but it seems these teams are starting to, at least a little bit, focus up and find their game, try to work into some sort of rhythm.
Yeah, and like you said, you know, what sometimes things is a factor is that if you're a sophomore, this is your last game. And so it's not just the end of your season, it may be the end of your career. So it creates a lot of pressure for these players. So hopefully we'll see a good 3 quarters here. But after that first 3 minutes, we already had a better basketball game.
So the referee, after having a chat with Coach Darren Santo, making some adjustments, and we'll be ready to go here shortly. It is a playoff mindset. So, not quite sure, but
Shooting a couple of free throws.
Illegal roster at the beginning of the game.
oh, okay. So a technical called for an illegal roster at the beginning of the game. Apparently everything wasn't verified. As Susan Kenny misses another free throw on the technical.
I'm not sure what that means. I wonder if that means they used a substitution that wasn't on the roster. I'm not sure.
Either that or an incorrect number or something. Susan Kenny's able to split the pair, and it's a 2-point game. She, as far as offensive output thus far, has, for Susan Kenny's standards, struggled. So she has the hustle. She's getting steals, but on the offensive end, she's just not knocking them down as she usually does. Hope she finds her groove here soon. There's a 3-point attempt. That's up and in from Kylie Garrett, the 5'5" sophomore out of New Plymouth, Idaho. So just like that, a 5-point lead for the Lady Hawks. In the post, trying to feed it to Monty Cooper. She's able to get it. Looking for a player as Katie Witten passed a little bit too high from Susan Kenny, just goes off her fingertips, and guess what? It's Columbia Basin basketball. So sloppy execution by the Blazers.
So far, the Hawks gives them credit for their defense, though. The man defense, in large part, I think has been working. It's really made it tough for them to get some good looks at the three-point line that they really like so much.
Something to note here, Mark, the officials, they're cracking, it's playoff time. They're cracking down, and as Katie Witten tries to chest up her opponent, she draws the blocking foul. That is her first. So the aggression, or at least too much aggression, will not be tolerated here tonight. Katie Witten. Cindy Cole-Vogler tries to swat at it, but it doesn't matter. That's a layup from number 10, Alexis Higginbotham. So now a 7-point lead for the Lady Hawks. Blazers got to score here. Gets some momentum. Katie Witten from the right corner for three. No good. Sorensen. That's off the hands of Columbia Basin. Wait, is it? My goodness. No, that was off the hand of the Lady Hawks. As Shane Schutz asking for a timeout here, but did you see something different than what I saw, Mark?
I didn't get a good look at it, but it looked like Sorensen she was definitely kind of
she was in the
just
play.
Letting it bounce out. I mean, obviously she seems to have gotten a good look at it, and I assume that if it had been off a Blazer, she would have grabbed it. So it's one of those really kind of unusual looking play. Really, the people seem a little surprised by it. Frankly.
So on the rebound attempt, one of the Lady Hawks, it just bounces right off her fingertips. So Sorensen kind of blocks her out, and the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Columbia Basin, but here we are. It's Lady Hawks ball. Full court press in effect. Now they're playing catch-up ball on the defensive end. Driving in, and a nice attempt, but off, or a little bit too strong there for Higginbotham. There's a three-pointer off the mark, but there's offensive rebound again. Higginbotham grabs it. The Blazers gotta block out. They are undersized in this one. Not by much, but they're still undersized. In the post, and fouled on the drive. That's Kendall Sage. This doesn't, as far as the fouling situation, Mark, it's spread out, but it's not looking too good thus far for the Blazers. Foul's going to go on Monty Cooper, her second. So Tiana Thompson has 2 fouls. Cole Vogler, I believe, has 2 fouls. Monty Cooper has 2 fouls. Something to keep an eye on for sure.
There's something already this game. 2 minutes into this second quarter, they're already 2 falls in.
And after goes off the right hand of Thompson. It's still Lady Hawks ball. There's a wide open layup, and it's no good. And there's going to be a foul on the putback attempt. Not good.
You know, the whole thing could have been prevented by a defensive board there. Like you've mentioned, Luke, it's just a good team they're playing. You got to make sure you got to block out. You got to.
Oh, you got to do you got to do the fundamentals. Especially if you want to, be successful in the playoffs.
It's they've played some teams that were obviously more athletic than, but in this case, we're playing an athletic team, and so far, giving up these offensive boards has really hurt them.
No damage on that trip to the line, though, as both free throws are missed. Alicia Sorensen, she takes a look at it, gives it one pump fake, drives in, throws it up, and well off the mark, but she draws the foul.
That's
it's
something
that
we've seen
type
her
of game.
do before. Do that pump fake at the top of the key and then take it to the paint. So that's something she likes to do, and she likes to get to the line with that. So last time shooting 0 for 2. This time, we'll see how she does.
So it rolls in for Sorensen. Checking in for the Lady Hawks is Marissa Caballero and Emily Botkin. Or excuse me, yes. Yeah, we're good. So Sorensen trying to trim this deficit down. She hits both of them this time. Hopefully she's locked and loaded. And Alicia Cooper-Tabisola, who's just checked in the game, guards True Tucker. There's Garrick. Sage. There's a three-point attempt. Katie Witten was there, though. Good closeout, and it's no good. 5-point lead for the Lady Hawks. They've got numbers, but no one's diving in. I'd like to see at least one Blazer dive in the lane on that one and get the easy layup.
Yeah, I don't know. They may have not gotten a good look because Wynn definitely beat her opponent there. And however, number 34, Emily Botkin really got to a spot where she had to be and prevented an easy basket.
Well, I mean, that's a big body in there to try to avoid, and that's going to bother anybody's shot for sure, in anybody's play. Katie Witten almost able, and she does beat her defender, and she is rewarded with a foul. It's going to go on Holly Ellison. It's her second. And for the Lady Hawks is number 44, Amber Jones. There's inside Thompson kicking it out to Alicia Cooper-Tabisola. She locks and loads up and in for three. Cooper-Tabisola makes it a 2-point ball game.
Really nice shot by Cooper-Tabisola. You know, she's usually more of a pass-first player, but there, a really nice bucket.
And not a three answered, but a long jumper goes in for the Lady Hawks. But Tabisola, you're right, usually not that one, but the Blazers at this point, they needed that bucket. They need someone else to step up for sure. So great choice and great take by Susan Kenny with the right hand on the left side.
Really, Thompson didn't really get her body on the opponent on that pick. However, that screen, that was good enough.
That was great. Actually, that was great reflexes by you there, Mark, to avoid the basketball sailing over your head.
I think it might have been a little. I don't think it would have hit me. I don't know.
Well, we'll hand you the cat-like reflexes anyway. Well done.
But good, like I was saying, good screen by Thompson at the top. Not really, making contact, but slowing down the opponent, giving Kenny that space.
Kenny, just a great finish. That was tough. Barely squeezed it in. Oh, Tabisola. Glad she stops and waits to regain herself. Katie Witten for three. Kind of forced it there. Thompson with the rebound, though.
Yeah, really forced there. The Blazers, they love to be able to set up out there, but so far the Hawks have been athletic. Hawks have been catching up to them out beyond the arc, making
Easy
it tough.
Right elbow jumper from Kylie Garrick, and she had all day to take that one. No one else got back but Sorensen. Susan Kenny gets the pass just deflected easily by Emily Botkin.
Botkin, 6'1" center, and she has 3 inches on any player in the game. So
this is unreal so far, Marcus. Amber Jones hits a short corner jumper. The Blazers just aren't. I mean, the solid defense, what they've hung their hat on, is just not there right now. Tiana Thompson somehow able to grab it and puts it up and in. They need that. But as far as the help defense, as far as the adjustments, they're not being made, and they're resulting in wide open Lady Hawk jumpers. Breaking the press pretty easily there. Susan Kenny on the closeout. Good job, but you can't do much about Emily Botkin, the 6'1" freshman from White Swan.
We could say Darren Santo really seems to have, we don't have any tape, we don't know how they've done before this, but maybe scout him out. Maybe his teams haven't played in a whole 7 days. You got a whole week to prepare. It might be a real factor in this, working and breaking this full court press. And nonetheless, it looks like a team that offensively they like to push the ball off the court, and that's how you break the full court press. You gotta move. You gotta beat them.
Well, no, they've got that press breaker on lock. And one thing to note here, the Blazers are almost in any matchup they're always undersized. but it usually hasn't been that big of an effect. Here, the press break is easy because you've got Katie Witten, but they're just passing right over her. They're seeing over her. They've got multiple 6-footers on this roster. And Emily Botkin, she gets the offensive rebound, gets one of the easiest looks of her career on that layup attempt. So the size is definitely a disadvantage for the Blazers. Easy layup from Sorensen, but she...
And they'll give them credit. They're getting to the right spots on offense. Botkin there really, that's where you want your center to set up when you're breaking the four-court press. So well done.
Great pass by Witten inside to the left block. That's Tiana Thompson, but they're running, and look who's ahead. That's Caballero, and she gets the layup to go.
There, you know, you
just
saw
outran
on
everyone.
offense, it's as if they were expecting the Hawks to come out a little slower. Wow, what a pass. What a pass there.
Yeah, nice lob inside and an easy look for Tiana Thompson, her second layup in a row. Well, there's a foul call away from the basketball. Oh, an offensive foul called.
Boy, but give these Hawks, yeah, you know, you said about the size advantage. You know, they've got some very tall forwards, centers on this Hawks team. However, beating this press, we've actually seen some very good ball handling by the guards. And, you know, the teams that the Blazers have seemed to just really put up points against are some of these teams that struggle to have ball handling at the guard position. But these Hawks, some really good ball handling, regardless of who's at point guard.
I agree. Tiana Thompson takes it up, but she is fouled on the ground. She hits the shot, so she wanted the continuation, but not awarded it. Blazers got to drum up some offense. They're only down 4. That's because of a lot of effort. As Susan Kenny, the nice turnaround jumper from the right block.
That's a tough shot to make. Well done. Really nice jump shot from up there.
A wide open jumper is no good from the Lady Hawks. That's another wide open jumper, this time for 3 at the left wing. And after a dog pile, Susan comes up with it, but they're going to call the foul. So it's going to go on Alicia Cooper-Tabisola. I believe that is
That's her first, I think.
It is. Checked in for the Lady Hawks. That's Stephanie Gibson and Sierra Perez.
And again, you know, the offensive boards, that time we didn't give them offensive boards, but might as well have.
A dog pile that results in a foul. Nice catch there by Caballero. And a lot of movement for the Lady Hawks. Driving in, left corner 3, no good. Katie Witten with a rebound. She's pushing it. Susan Kenny's waiting right there, but Katie Witten can't get her hands on it, but she's going to be bailed out with a foul. So Katie Witten kind of out of control there as she went towards the basket. She saw Kenny, but just couldn't get control of the ball and pass it off. She's going to be rewarded with free throws anyway, as that is the 5th team foul for the Lady Hawks. That's number 1 on Amber Jones.
Yeah, good idea by Witten there, getting the defensive rebound. Like you said, Wynn only 5 feet tall, but you know, we see how many rebounds in a game she gets. You know, 3.2 rebounds a game, 3.1 assists, 6.8 points. So she's a player that contributes in multiple areas.
Katie Witten with the chance to tie it up again. She's been solid. She's knocking down her free throws. But the bad news is Kayla Jones is checked in once more. What a pass! And a wide open layup for Sierra Perez. Kayla Jones just hooks it with the right arm, gets it all the way across the floor.
Great outlet passer by the Hawks. And offensively, the Hawks getting in a position, doing what they need to do.
And there's Alicia Cooper-Tabisola fouled on the jump shot from behind. She'll be going to the free throw line. Not sure how, just swinging your hand down, because that's an easy block. So, Tabisola with the chance to tie it up at 33. And her free throws off the front rim. Checked in for the Lady Hawks is number 24, True Tucker.
This might be Tucker's first time in the game, I think.
She was in the first quarter. She actually got a 3 to go.
I gotcha. This is a deep team, very deep Hawks team.
Oh, always. And so you always have people fresh, just like Kayla Jones, who just checked in. She was a nightmare in the first half. That 3's off the mark. Witten not able to get it. But after all the hustle, Blazers luck out on this one. Ball rolls out of bounds and we're going the other way.
Yeah, Hawks are seeing a team that really is getting after these offensive boards. It's been a real factor in this game.
Here's Kenny calling instruction to the offense. Witten on the right wing. Top of the key there is Cooper. Kenny to Witten. Got to have something going here. Alicia Sorensen with strength grabs the pass and throws it up, trying to draw the foul. And she does.
Really, so we're seeing some good job by these Blazers drawing some of these falls. Sometimes you feel like it slows down the pace of the game a little bit, but what can you do? These Hawks players playing almost a little too aggressive. You got to play with your feet. You got to stay in front of the defender.
No, and I think that's the right idea with how aggressive the Lady Hawks have been playing, and they've been doing the same thing on the other side of the court, so might as well fight fire with fire. They just got to hit all their free throws. As Sorensen hits both of them, it's a tie game at 33, 1:52 remaining in the first half. But in the first quarter, we saw multiple missed free throws, and Cabisoli even missed a couple on that last attempt. That's a great look. Is that Kayla Jones? Of course it is. A great layup by Jones. So as soon as the Blazers tied up, they have an answer. Monty Cooper, great look on the right side, and she's a smart player in the post.
And again, Blazers take advantage of that aggressive defense being played by the Hawks. And
Cooper, she stops, waits, puts it in, nice and easy, and the Blazers have their first lead in this ball game.
Real smart play by Cooper there to have the patience to just wait and let the defense come back down and put it up for an easy bucket.
I know Cooper, there's a left corner 3, and look at that, they got the lead back. Sierra Perez knocks it down, but the first thing that Shane Schutz says when he checks Cooper back in is be smart, and on those last 2 plays, she really demonstrated it. A lob, but Sorensen didn't have the seal, and as such, there's the turnover. Here's Caballero, who waits, pulls up for 3, that's way off. Katie Witten with the long rebound. She's going, Susan Kenny, 3-on-3 break, but Witten opts to put it in. Kenny, she fades away, the hook is no good. Sorensen draws the jump ball. And it's gonna stay with Centralia.
Yeah, that's what I'm sure Witten would like to have back. She definitely had some space, definitely was going, and a 2-on-1 advantage with the Blazers.
So Schutz with 25.8 left in the first half. He says, take your time, get one look. So the last look of the half, going up and drawing contact, but that doesn't matter. She puts it in. That's Monty Cooper.
Monty Cooper, so far she's had a fairly quiet game, but here we see her with 2 baskets in a row.
Wide open jumper, hits the back rim. Monty Cooper gets the rebound. So another defensive breakdown, but able to save it. There's 2 seconds left. Kenny throws it up, and it's a too strong. But you know what? Somehow, some way, Centralia is going into the first half with a 39-38 lead.
And we've seen this before. You think going ahead, if see how the Blazers do if they survive this one. Going ahead, you'd think they'd like to come out stronger in the first quarter instead of getting in any type of hole in the following games. But overall, we've seen both teams make adjustments, and I'd say we've seen 2 very good basketball teams.
Oh, the matchup here is stupendous, especially when you've got 2 teams that are playing the same type of ball. They're really run and gun, sort of trying to find the trap or trying to trap and get it on the defensive end, then going and getting open looks in transition, because that's been almost all of what this game's been so far.
We've seen something very different how many games have we seen the Lady Blazers come out and win by 20 points? A handful. So really a good basketball team. Two really good basketball teams. You know, well, we have our stats here.
But let me tell you this real quick though. Just watching that first quarter, I did not see the Blazers having any sort of lead at halftime, but they do have it. 39-38 is the halftime score. Thank you, Kevin. And Mark, take a look at our first half stats.
So when you look in some areas that I thought were really a factor, I was simple as wrong. Maybe what happened at the beginning of the game threw me off, but Centralia actually rebounding offensively better than Columbia Basin College. Also, Centralia with more total rebounds, but Columbia Basin College with 14 points off of turnovers compared to 8 for Centralia. Obviously, Centralia is a team that they like to get points off of turnovers.
But looking at that offensive rebound aspect, the reason I think why it looked like they were getting more offensive boards as far as Columbia Basin goes is because they were scoring off of them. They were getting the rebound and the putback like we saw with Emily Botkin, who's taller than any other Blazer on the floor. So really, it really means more. It looks like it's a lot more when you're getting points off of those offensive boards as well.
Oh, yeah. Also looking here at the stats, we've got, like you said, Kayla Jones, leading scorer of the game for Columbia Basin Hawks with 11 points, shooting 3 for 5 for total field goals. In second, we've got Stephanie Gibson, 7 points for the Trailblazers. Leading scorer is Monte Cooper, 8 points with 7 points. Sorensen, but with everybody scoring at least 3 points in the first half.
No, they're definitely getting contributions everywhere. No one has really stated or really imposed their will as far as the Blazers go. Monty Cooper's done a good job, especially as the half winded down, but no one really took over. So you need a little bit of contribution from everybody. There was a momentum shift when Alicia Cooper Tabisola, her only field goal of the game, hits a three-pointer. That's not usually something she'd take, but they needed it at that time. So it's good to see the Lady Blazers stepping up where they need to, and everyone knows that when their number's called, they got to step up.
Yeah, Cooper Tabisola only averaging 1.7 points per game, and she plays minutes. She's in the regular rotation, just more of a pass-first player.
So if we're talking what the Blazers need to do going into the second half, what are you pinpointing, Mark? What are you circling?
I think both teams are going to come out and make adjustments. I think you're going to see the Blazers try to do what they start doing in the second half, really taking advantage of some of this aggressive play, drawing fouls. I mean, why not continue that? You're having success with that. And also they're having a lot of success when you're seeing the Columbia Basin Hawks, I think, come with a game plan to really make it tough for the Blazers to make these three-point shots. So you're seeing them come out and really attack beyond the arc. And we've seen some nice passes into the paint for some easy buckets.
So that is your halftime report. The halftime score, the Centralia Lady Blazers lead at 39-38. We will have the second half of NWAC regional action coming up in about 8 minutes.
Yeah, we'll be right back.
All right. Here we are back at Michael Smith Gymnasium. It is playoff basketball time. At halftime, the Centralia Lady Blazers lead the Columbia Basin Lady Hawks 39-38 after a tightly contested first half where, I mean, they've only had the lead twice and they've been for very short time. So let's see if the Blazers can build off of that momentum. I'm Luke Kilgore, my broadcast partner, Mark Gurecki, coming on right now. And we are underway with the Lady Hawks.
The real story is going to be, are the Blazers going to play like the first quarter or the second quarter? I mean, if they continue, I mean, obviously, I think they went at halftime pretty happy about where they were when you figure they started down, 12-0?
Yeah, it was at least 10-0 before they started to chip away. Katie Witten, she sets the tone, at least defensively for the second half, takes a charge, first thing, and it's Blazer ball.
Win on defense this game. She hasn't made a lot of big plays, because they call it real big, but she's played good defense.
As she throws it out on the floor, here we are running the other way. Susan Kenny, she's pumping, she's finding her way, but the layup's up and in.
Kenny, really athletic player, almost catching up to her there. Well, getting up off the floor and catching up.
So True Tucker takes the ball on the ground. It was there for the taking, and she puts it up and in. 40-39 now. The Lady Hawks lead it. Gianna Thompson in the post. She drives in, forces it, and then the left hook is way short.
That's a good shot to take, working it in the inside. That's one of the keys I said at halftime. I'd like to see him too.
And Monty Cooper, she was imposing her will on the inside as the second half winded down. Look for her to do that as well. There's Monty Cooper, top of the key, puts the ball down. Great pass. Tiana Thompson not ready for it, though. That was going to be a wide open layup. Here's Cooper driving in after the up fake, and she is blocked by Emily Botkin. She's 6'1". Just a big body in there for the Lady Hawks. She's a 6'1" freshman out of White Swan. Kayla Jones and her sister Amber, also out of White Swan. Kayla Jones had 11 points in the first half to lead all scorers. Here's top of the key. There's Monty Cooper for three.
Like we were talking about last game, Monty Cooper, she's a player that the team, they need her to score in the paint. They really need her to be more of a post player. However, she's a pretty good three-point shooter.
She doesn't do it a lot, but she can take those looks and she can make them. She cashes in right there, a 2-point lead for the Lady Blazers. Skip pass, there's a short corner jumper. Alicia Sorensen gets there just in the nick of time, and it's off the mark. As Monty Cooper is brought down, they take the rebound back, and she has no choice with the foul, Emily Botkin, who's just in all ways taller and bigger.
Yeah, and frequently really seems to be a real smart player. Finds herself in the right spot. Really, on the program, you don't see a lot of players that they call a center. Usually, you just have guards and forwards, but definitely a real center and definitely a player that knows how to play in the paint.
That's the third foul for Monty Cooper. That's something to definitely keep an eye on as Botkin missed her first and her second. And who last touched it? We're going the other way. Centralia ball. So there's a foul for Monty Cooper, and that ends up being the end of it because no fruit to be gained on the free throws. Susan Kenny crosses over. Left wing. Waits for the offense to work through. Looks to pass it. She's picked up her dribble. There's Katie Witten. She drives in. There's Susan Kenny. Is she going to pull it? No. Great closeout. There's Monty Cooper. She's going to pull up for another three just off the mark. But she had to check it. She had to test to see if she was on from beyond the perimeter. I understand that shot. We usually only see her take top of the key threes, but she hits one. Might as well. Monty Cooper, nice pump fake, and just puts it up and in. Nice and easy.
Yeah, matched up against Botkin there, a taller player, but really with the nice pivot post move that we've seen her do so many times.
Oh, she has great footwork. In wide open, there's Botkin. She's fading away. She didn't really take her time there on the offensive rebound.
Who was the defensive player down there? Was it that
Sorensen got bumped.
But somebody really didn't do anything fancy for Botkin, but really made it hard. You know, at least got their hands up there and in a sense kind of forced that errant shot.
Yeah, she didn't have to take it, but the presence of the defender made her. So here we are, Susan Kenny. She surveys the floor. Getting through, there's Alicia Sorensen. Gosh, she almost took that three. Really considered it, but instead has the hook that's a little bit too hard off the glass. There's Marissa Caballero. She's the leading scorer for this ball team. Not tonight thus far, but she is a shooter, as you hear assistant coach Caleb Sells of the Blazers say.
In the first half, Blazers only shooting 22% from three-point field goals. You know, you wonder if this is kind of a factor in why they're not letting it fly, but I think at some point, that's your game. You know, the only way to kind of get yourself out of slump is you got to shoot your way out.
If you're a good shooter, good shooters shoot their way out of slumps, for sure. Here's Susan Kenny. The Blazers own the 4-point lead, 7 minutes remaining in the third period. Kenny looking, nice bounce pass to Monty Cooper, who had to come and get it. The top of the key. Look at that, a great pass from Cooper to Thompson, who tries to kick it back to Cooper. Thompson, that was a great look by Cooper, and Thompson just not able. There's nothing else.
Maybe a kind of a frustration fall there. I mean,
there's nothing for Botkin to do with her momentum, and she sends it all into Alicia Sorensen and tackles her, and that's the most obvious foul we're going to get all night.
Yeah, kind of frustration fall. I mean, she made a good play. I mean, really stole the ball from Cooper down there, and she lost it herself, and
Sorensen took advantage.
Not a good fall to make. So I mean, you know, here they are, 94 minutes in the game, 3 falls already for the Hawks.
So flipping the script so far are the Blazers against the Columbia Basin travel. So we're talking about Monty Cooper's great footwork, but that's once she gets into the post. She drives on that occasion, and on the fake lifts up her foot, and she gets caught for steps.
You know, you see a quality team, or 2 quality teams, you know, like the Hawks, Blazers here, and you're not going to see a lot of that call. You know, some of our other games where we've seen a handful of them, but at this point in the season with this caliber of team, you probably won't see another one of those.
Botkin waited patiently and was able to get it up and in. Easy look off the glass. Off the rebound, we're running in transition. Oh. So Katie Witten trying to draw the foul, or no. Did that was on Witten, correct? Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
so they called that one to Katie Witten. She tries to take another charge, but this time she's called for the blocking foul. Shooting 2, that is Marissa Caballero. Go ahead, Mark. Sorry
really great, you know, leading scorer, finds himself at the line here, making baskets, and really great ball handling. I mean, she's been a big factor in why the Blazers' full court press has been such a challenge.
She hits both of them and ties the game up at 44, 5:43 remaining in the third quarter. As Sydney Cole-Vogler is set to check in for the Blazers. And right at the top of the key, Monty Cooper, no. Katie Witten was almost able to get it, but there's Caballero, and she makes a great pass. And that jumper from Botkin way off the mark. And she's hearing it from the Centralia section. Able to get that pass is True Tucker, great catch. And the possession is still well alive for the Lady Hawks. There's a 3-point attempt. Caballero off the back iron. Rebound, Cooper. Sorensen running in transition. She wanted the foul, but Susan Kenny gets the offensive rebound, and she draws it.
Yeah, you know, with that one, that fall call probably could have gone either way. It's one of those that there probably was some contact down there. But sometimes it's hard to say in a real fast play like that.
Susan Kenny playing till the whistle. She gets the offensive board and is rewarded with a trip to the foul line where she hits the front end of her 2 free throws.
Yeah, Kenny, leading scorer, the team, 15.5 points, but also averaging nearly 6 rebounds a game from the guard position. So
We've talked about her all the time. Jack of all trades is Susan Kenny. That one rolls in. So a 2-point lead for the Blazers. Sydney Cole Vogler checked in for Centralia.
I think
And Holly Ellison, I believe, checked in for the Lady Hawks.
I think this is Cole Vogler's first time in the second half. Like we were talking about at halftime, she's got 3 personal fouls, so that may be why this is the first time she's been checked in the game.
What a pass from Witten, but
Let's see.
what a pass from Witten, but Tiana Thompson not able to get it. There's going to be a foul call anyway. Frustrated is Columbia Basin. So Tiana Thompson, she's getting 2 free throws.
Real nice pass by Witten there.
Oh, that was beautiful. I mean, reached around her defender and bounces it in the one and only spot where Thompson could have got it.
Witten,
Picture perfect.
in the first half, only 2 assists, but just about it. She's had some real nice passes this game.
So it's a 2-point lead once again for the Blazers as they keep going back and forth. Katie Witten steals it. There's a jumper. That's not usually a shot we'd see her taking, but she gets her own rebound.
So we kind of see an adjustment here. We see Witten moving up point guard position.
Double screen for Witten. She draws baseline, but there's no one open. There's Cole Vogler. She'll take that 3 at the top of the key. But she got fouled after the fact by Botkin. That's a mental error.
Yeah, I didn't get a good look at it. But yeah, I mean, you know why? Because, the play already happened. It seemed well over that shot before that fall even happened. So
But the Lady Hawks do have 5+ fouls. So shooting 2.
see, discussing a little bit. I mean,
I don't know okay. So we're gonna have a timeout there from the Lady Hawks. But when they return, we're gonna have Tiana Thompson shooting 2 free throws.
Tiana Thompson.
Excuse me. Sydney Cole Vogler. My bad.
She's shooting 2?
Well, because she was fouled after the shot, right?
Oh, yeah. Okay, so I gotcha.
If they did count it on the shot, she will be shooting 3. But I believe.
Yeah, I think you're right, Luke. I think you're right. Yeah, and they're in the bonus, so it doesn't have to be shooting fall.
So in the first half, both teams really, and it was the Blazers first that were really racking up the team fouls. And by the end of the first quarter, we were shooting plenty of free throws.
No.
And now we're flipping the script. The Centralia Trailblazers are flipping the script on the Lady Hawks, and they're getting to the free throw line and getting them in foul trouble.
In spite of this, here we are with the Blazers up just by 2 points. So it seems like with all the falling, with getting in a bonus 6 minutes into it, it seems like at this point Centralia is playing a better quarter than Columbia Basin, but
Still a 2-point lead, that's it.
so I mean it's and why to pick up 1 point from their 2-point lead at halftime. Maybe they could end up at 4 after this one then.
Cole Vogler with a chance to extend the lead to a 2-possession ball game. Knocks the first one down. It's a pure stroke.
Cole Vogler, first half of the game, she scored 3 points on a 3-point shot. She missed all 4 free throws.
But makes
this
a
time she did
great
one.
play there. The steal from Botkin and puts it up and in. She only made one of those free throws, but
So coming in off the
added a
bench
2
and
there.
making an impact. I don't know how her shoulder's been doing. Some of these other games she's kind of struggled with a little bit of a shoulder injury. But so far being a factor in the second half.
And a block there from Sydney Cole Vogler, but a 3 anyway from Holly Ellison.
I think it was a deep 2 actually.
Could have been. Sydney Cole Vogler top of the key after making the great play on the defensive end that turned into the offense. Susan Kenny driving baseline, kicks it to Sorensen, left corner 3 off the front rim. We've seen her switch plenty of those, but she hasn't been locked in from the 3-point line tonight
Yeah,
just
so I'm
yet.
not shooting that well out there. I would like to see her put some more up. If she gets a good look.
So tight defense here from the Centralia Trailblazers. And Kayla Jones, in case you forgot about her, she throws up a jumper that is just barely off the mark. So Susan Kenny holds up. Monty Cooper sets the check in for the Trailblazers.
Kayla Jones, the leading scorer of the first half with 11 points.
Kenny baseline. Cole Vogler, Sorensen gets it up and in. So there's the tray that we were looking for from Alicia Sorensen. And a little bit of contest there, but she's able to knock it down anyway. Here is Marissa Caballero. She is able to cross over Susan Kenny. Kenny gets back there just in time to foul Caballero and make her earn those 2 points. So I think Katie Witten asking for a sub. So that was the first on Susan Kenny, which is hard, a little bit hard to believe so far with how the teams have been fouling. But Susan Kenny, really a smart player, doesn't commit a lot of fouls.
No. We've seen other players get in foul trouble. Kenny, not so much. And which is something, especially given that she'll probably play this entire game. She probably won't be subbed out.
Cooper and Cooper Tabisola check in. That's Monty and Alicia, or Allie, as she prefers to be called. So here's Tabisola, high post. There's Cole Vogler. She pulls up and she's able to draw the foul as 2 converge on her. A little bit of a bailout there for Cole Vogler. So once again, Sydney makes an appearance at the free throw line. So a 5-point lead now for the Blazers, which make that 6. Is the biggest lead of the game for Centralia. 2:09 remaining in this third period. 55-49 is Centralia's lead. And it's still 59. Wow. Still 55-49. She goes for that rebound and gets landed on hard. No call.
Yeah, kind of an unusual play there. I really look like, who's that? Jones.
Oh,
about tackle there.
Completely accidental, but you still got to make that call. What do we? Oh, another reach around call, and that's going to go on Kayla Jones. That's her 3rd.
Yeah, that one might
or another
be,
hooking call.
Yeah, as they call them, one of those makeup calls.
So Kayla Jones, they caught her for that in the first half with in the post, using her arm to hook her defender and keep her sealed. But she's not getting away with that. There's Cooper Tabisola, air ball on the 3-pointer. She hit 1 in the first half. Left corner 3, easy, quick release, put up and in. No good, but Cooper loses it on the offensive board, or excuse me, on the defensive rebound. But Kenny ends up with it, and we're running. She goes up and great layup right in the front.
That's the athleticism of Kenny. Really a player that she can score those. In these games you don't see a lot of players that can attack the basket 1-on-2, but Kenny does it with ease.
Beautiful touch there from Kenny, but Monty Cooper trying to drive it in, gets it knocked away as she drives into 3 different black jerseys. On the previous possession, that was Caballero not finding the mark on that 3 attempt. But now we have Alicia Cooper Tabisola with her 2nd foul. Tiana Thompson checks in for Sydney Cole Vogler.
Yeah, Cooper Tabisola just being a little slow to the spot there, and looked like she kind of wanted to draw a fall, but just a little, it's not quite quick enough.
You got to be set, for sure. So kicking it in to Higginbotham. She has a nice baseline drive, gets right around Tiana Thompson for an easy 2.
Yeah, real nice cut. Got a little space and just put it right off the backboard.
Susan Kenny gets the instruction from Coach Shane Schutz. Here's Tabisola, gets it to Alicia. So, Alicia Sorensen after that mental miscue. Katie Witten checks in for Tabisola. But after that mental miscue, Sorensen telling Tabisola to just be calm. Got to keep your composure, and she's right. Would like to see Sorensen kind of dive for that after making the breakdown, but
Sorensen needed to grab that one.
Cooper waits her turn and puts it up and in. So there was an errant shot on the other end. Contact, no call. Ball still on that half of the court. We're down to 5 seconds on the game clock for the third period. Driving in and blocked by Susan Kenny. That's the way you want to end the third quarter. 0.6 left.
Yeah, you know, and that it looked like who was that? Witten really could have gotten the charge call on that. I mean, she was in her spot, but I don't think anybody really got a good look at it. You know, I think that was really the issue there. I don't know. Luke, would you have called that a charge?
Oh, over here on this side?
Yeah.
Absolutely, honestly. Because Witten was set. She took the contact. You don't see charges called in the backcourt that often, which is why I think it went as a no call. Because it drew ball too, but I would definitely call that a charge. On the other end, I'm surprised that they gave Kayla Jones with 0.7 left. They gave her a clean look at the basket. She doesn't knock it down because she has to make sure her release is quick. But they gave her a wide open look from three, and if she would have hit that, Coach Schutz would not be happy going into the fourth.
Yeah, well, give them credit though that they really made it tough with them. You have less of a second to go. You had a block by Kenny there, just a real clean block, just going straight up.
Caballero trying to force her way in and create offense with nothing, and she got blocked by Kenny, who was just standing there straight up.
And give Kenny credit though, quick feet, got in position, knew exactly where Caballero was going to go with it, and got the block. So Kenny, as we've frequently seen, an athlete on another level than what we see here frequently in the NWAC.
8-point lead for Centralia, 59-51. I believe their biggest lead of the game. So it's going to belong to Columbia Basin. This is regional. This is loser out. This is trying to get into the NWAC tournament. So everything.
No, this is
everything,
the NWAC
the whole season.
tournament. This is but you mean the next game up in
Trying to get to the actual.
in Everett.
Correct. So it's kind of like how they do state. You're not at state until you pass the regional.
Gotcha. Because right now, just 16 teams, I think, in the tournament. After today, they'll 8.
Susan Kenny gets it to Sorensen, who fakes from the left corner. Cole Vogler waiting her turn. Sorensen drives in, faces contact. That's up, but short. Real nice rainbow arc from Kenny, but not enough on it. And Kenny, on the other end, breaks up a pass to Higginbotham.
Another real athletic play. Here we have 9 minutes to go. Real fun game so far. Nice student section. Lots of people coming out. Real exciting game.
6-point lead for Centralia. 9-12 remaining in this one. Great look there for Kayla Jones. She's off. There's no call. The Columbia Basin bench wanted that foul, but you know what? It's still Lady Hawks ball. So driving in, there's Higginbotham with her back to the basket. Wide open three is an air ball for Kayla Jones. So while she was looking great in the first half, she's really cooled off, maybe even gone ice cold in this second for the Lady Hawks. A tipped pass from Vogler to Kenny, but Kenny throws it right into the hands of Caballero, showing off her athleticism. Blocking foul called as Katie Witten trying to take the charge, but it's one of those things. She just wasn't there in time and wasn't set. So shooting 2 free throws is going to be Caballero. So that foul's going to go on Katie Witten. That's her third.
Yeah, it's hard to draw a fall on a player like Caballero that can handle the ball so well. I mean, quick player, leading scorer. So I mean, you gotta, as they say, you gotta beat him in the spot.
Kylie Garrick checks in for the Lady Hawks as Caballero sinks her first. And not successful on her second. Here's Kenny. Tiana Thompson rips it And there's going to be a jump call called. That's a tough one. Tough one for the Centralia Trailblazers. But, well, it's going to stay right here anyway. We're all right. So Coach Shoots not liking that one, but you know what? Still right here. No damage done. Alicia Sorensen, wide open three-pointer. No. That would have been nice for the Blazers to get the momentum swinging back in their direction as the Lady Hawks are whittling down on the Blazers' lead. They only lead by 5 now. Alicia Sorensen driving the lane, takes it strong, kicks it out to Susan Kenny. She hits the deck. That is Sorensen hitting. Cole Vogler, we've got a injury timeout. This is
Really good defensive play by Kayla Jones there. Really catching up to the Blazers player. And
so Sorensen is on the floor. She is hurt. We cannot speculate on what the magnitude or anything is. We're obviously not doctors, but Sorensen does look to be in quite a bit of pain. So that is, any way you look at that is a tough hit for the Blazers, as Sorensen, the sophomore leader, one of the leading scorers for the Centralia team. Let's see how she's walking off. She's using both feet, albeit gingerly, and not even put a lot of pressure. So
the trainer will look at her. Yeah, I mean, it hurts either way.
Sorensen has a history of knee problems. In fact, she missed all of last season with an injured knee and part of her freshman season. So that has plagued her. She's had a great season this year, though. Hate to see her go out now. Left corner three. No good, but enough black jerseys in there to get the offensive board. Caballero kicks it to Ellison. She's fast. And Higginbotham tries to get to the rim, but not enough on the layup.
She got a good look.
Great drive, just didn't put enough on it. Kenny to Cole Vogler at the left wing. Here's Kiana Thompson driving in. She gets blocked from behind, or there's going to be a foul. So there was contact on Thompson's shoulder, so that is a good call. Going to go on Kayla Jones.
And she's got to be careful. 4 falls. One of their players, a deep roster, but she's played a lot of minutes.
Jones, I mean, one of their leaders. She averages 12 points a game for them, 6 rebounds. As Thompson's good on the free throw. Subbing in for Kayla Jones is number 30, Kendall Sage. So, Thompson, they need every one of these free throws. If I'm Coach Shane Shoots, you know, I really need them to concentrate on the free throws, something they struggled with, especially in the first quarter. But anything to help build this lead and keep a nice cushion, I'm sure is just fine with Coach. 3-point attempt wide open from Kylie Garrick, but somehow after the long board, Lady Hawks still have it. Lots of possession time for the Lady Hawks. An off-balance hook, I guess we could call it. Hits back rim and bounces out. Monty Cooper drives in, good take, but just too hard off the glass. We're going the other way in transition. The Hawks have numbers, and a layup there by Holly Ellison.
And this is where we've seen the Hawks have a lot of success when they're able to get the ball down the court quickly and try to really beat that press.
And Susan Kenny, she puts her body very well into Holly Ellison and draws the foul. That was great awareness by Susan Kenny. Instead of going up straight up for the layup, she kind of works her body in and draws the blocking foul. Nothing but net on the first free throw. 62-56, Centralia leads this one. 6:21 remaining in the game. This is the season on the line. Hits both of them. So here we are. Monty Cooper, great hands, almost able to actually catch it after tipping the pass. This is Holly Ellison, top of the key. She drives in. There's number 10, Higginbotham. She drives in, but Monty Cooper got there too quick and knocks her down. Let's see how many fouls that is on her. That's 4. So, as Kayla Jones, who also has 4, checks in, that's something to keep an eye on. Monty Cooper has 4. She gets 1 more. She's gone.
Yeah, so far no substitution. 6 minutes left to go in the game. So I guess Coach likes his tall lineup.
Well, here's the thing. They have 1 substitution, and that's Tabby Sola right now. Kind of a forced shot, trying to draw the foul, and somehow gets the foul call. So here's Kayla Jones. She's not able to get her first free throw to fall. 63-56 Centralia, still leading this one.
Yeah, we've seen the Hawks cut into their lead a little bit. Nonetheless, their highest lead of the game was, 9 points? So, I mean, it's been a pretty close game.
It's back to a 2-possession ball game, 6-point lead, 63-57. Centralia leads it, 5:45 left. This is huge right now. Monty Cooper gets fronted well, and Higginbotham steals the ball, but terrible pass.
Well, this game we've seen a couple of uncharacteristics, maybe 2-3 uncharacteristic passes by Kenny that end up being intercepted as she's trying to really force a pass.
And this is good to see. Sorensen back out on the floor. So Monty Cooper with 4 fouls, she takes a seat. Sorensen, she came right on time.
Yeah, she looks real happy to be back in the game.
You can see struggling a little bit, but she's running, and that's the best thing. Katie Witten driving in, kicks it up off the front rim.
Really good positioning by Thompson there
to get the offensive board. So it looks like something fell on the floor. Sorensen gets it off the floor, but takes herself out of the play in the process. Kenny, that might have been a travel, but Thompson forces it up and in.
Yeah, lucky break by Kenny there, but Thompson, give her credit really with that nice left-handed shot.
Again, with contact, Thompson was able to finish. Usually that's Monty Cooper's game, but Thompson getting it to go there. That's a pretty open 3-point attempt from Holly Ellison. Susan Kenny gets the rebound. Cole Vogler gets it after being tossed.
So now we're seeing the Hawks kind of play a full-court press against the Blazers. I guess you figure they have 3.5 minutes. You want to gain some extra possession.
Kenny kicks it to Witten, who drives in and banks it off the glass. Nice floater there from Susan Kenny, and Darren Santo calls the timeout. A 10-point lead for the Centralia Trailblazers. There's 4:29 left in this one. They're leading by double digits. What more could you want?
Yeah, this is good. Really nice shot by Witten there to get to 10 points. It's kind of like the last shot she took, but this time she had a little more space, and really not kind of a floater, but it going off the backboard.
Nice teardrop there from Katie Witten, who she's 5 foot nothing, and that's in no offense either. She's the shortest player on the court, but she has such a great touch around the rim that she can finish against almost anybody because she's so good at protecting the ball and finding the open look.
Yeah, I really can't get around the fact that the Blazers have 2 5-foot players. Even here in the NWAC junior college basketball, we see very few players shorter than 5'4". So give them credit that you've got to earn your spot, you've got to earn your minutes, and both of them very good players.
So Sorensen, who's sitting back down, but it was good, especially for the team, to see her on her feet as she's trying to walk it out. She hit the deck on her knees hard earlier. Left corner, that is Holly Ellison. Skip pass and a high catch, or else she would have had that wide open look. Botkin, no good. It looked solid, but in and out, it goes in the rim. Susan Kenny crosses the timeline. 4 minutes remaining. And, I mean, if I'm Shane Shoes, I'm going to run clock and just try to run through the offense. Monty Cooper, nice jumper, right elbow, extended, but no good there.
Good recovery by Cooper. Make it tough on them on the defensive end.
And good defense by Cooper as well, not letting Caballero take the baseline. Kenny with the crossover. Looking around. High post, there's Tiana Thompson. Kicks it to Cindy Cole Vogler, who gets it to Kenny. Takes one look at the rim and drives in. Tiana Thompson drives baseline, kicks it to Monty Cooper. Cooper forces it up. That's going to be a shot clock violation, but they still ran 30 seconds off of that clock, and they have a 10-point lead, Mark. So
well, at the same time, you don't get too cute with it. I mean, you got to make sure you get a shot off there until, well, you know, we saw the coaches over here really screaming to get their attention. Let them know there's just seconds left on the shot clock.
So here's Caballero trying to drive in. It gets stuck on Witten's hands, and she'll get credited with the steal. As she smiles after making the play. There's Susan Kenny, top of the key, kicks it to Witten, right wing, inside. There's Monty Cooper. She gets fouled. she thought she got blocked, but she says, okay, I'll take the free throws.
Yeah, I was a little surprised by the call myself, but
Botkin reaching a little bit over the shoulder of Cooper, wasn't straight up, so the officials going to give her 2 free throws. Sorensen checks in for Katie Witten as Cooper misses the first free throw. Let's see if she can add one more, make this an 11-point lead for the Centralia Trailblazers. 2:42 remaining in this one. She does. 68-57 is the Trailblazer lead. Driving inside, kicking it out. We have an offensive foul. Who drew that one? Sydney Cole Vogler. So Katie Witten not the only one. Great play, great timing. And Cole Vogler draws the foul, forcing Darren Santo to call the timeout.
Well, you can really hear the crowd. You know, people are excited. People are excited. You know, this was just about in the bag for the Blazers. They still got to be careful. The 11 seconds left, or 11 points down with 2.5 minutes left to go. But you can really hear the crowd very excited here.
Santo is going to have to do something radical with his team, or there's going to have to be some sort of change, because at this pace, the Blazers are going to win it, and they're going to win it by a decent margin.
Yeah, and that's we've seen that before with them, methodically coming on the second half, playing their game, making adjustments, and you know, what can you say? Usually they've won with 13-1. So
Witten checks right back in. As Susan Kenny sits out, she's got just a little bit of a cut, it seems, so they got to take care of that. Monty Cooper to take out the basketball for the Blazers.
Full court press by the Hawks. And see if they can force a turnover.
Alicia Sorensen grabs the inbound. She's driving quick, but pulls back and slows it up. Katie Witten's going to orchestrate the offense now. Witten almost gets it stolen away. Great ball handling. She's able to hold on to the ball, too. Witten driving in against a taller defender. That's Caballero guarding her. Tiana Thompson, 5 seconds on the shot clock. Almost gets the N1 to go, but she is blatantly fouled by Botkin. And one thing we didn't mention before, Kayla Jones fouled out. That is the 4th on Botkin, but that was pretty important for Columbia Basin here.
Yeah, after the first quarter, we've seen the Hawks with plenty of falls. So, I mean, and no real surprise, in spite of how deep they are. Seems like the players that have all these falls have, according to our stats here, have been real impact players.
So Jones is fouled out. Botkin, one more, and she's gone. As Tiana Thompson, that's clutch. She hits both free throws. 13-point lead now for Centralia. 2 minutes. That's all that's left in this regional ball game. Botkin gets the rebound, forces her way up, and can't put it in. And on the putback attempt, there's going to be a foul. Higginbotham draws it. See, it's on Sorensen.
Lots of contact down there. At this point in the game, what can you say?
I mean, and it's Sorensen, so she has 2 fouls. That's a good foul to make instead of opting for the easy bucket. Checking in now is True Tucker and Holly Ellison for the Columbia Basin Lady Hawks. Ellison has hit a couple threes tonight. So, especially as time's expiring, look for the Lady Hawks to start throwing up some tray balls. Kenny pushes it across half court. Now slows it up. She is met by Garrick. There's Sorensen driving in. She's stopped. Gives it to Thompson, who can't keep a hold of it. Cole Vogler, what? Is that over and back? No, loose ball. Monty Cooper, Tiana Thompson's going to take it herself and put it in. And the foul.
Yeah, kind of a frustration fall there. Some players seem to, you could hear some people on there saying over and back, but it looked like it was knocked out of the hands of his last touch by a Hawk. And they were already thinking, going down, trying to run the court, and really kind of a frustration play because you had 3 Blazers down there. That was going to be an easy basket.
Higginbotham fouls out. She has 5. Caballero subs in for True Tucker, even though who she's subbing in for is Higginbotham. Because Higginbotham has 5.
A little bit of confusion here.
They're asking about the over and back call. Okay, so they're discussing who the foul was actually on. And we're going to have a discussion here and figure that out. 126, though, I will say this. The Lady Hawks, for their comeback hopes, they are really shooting themselves in the foot. An and one like that for Tiana Thompson. Lots of fouls, sending the Lady Blazers to the line, which they're connecting on now. In the first quarter, they had jitters and really weren't, but now they're knocking them down. And the Blazers are locking down on defense, and they are securing this win and a trip to the NWAC tournament.
Yeah, I don't know what all the talk is about. I don't know all the chatters about. I mean, you're down 14 points with a minute and a half to go. Even with the over and back call, you're down 12 with a minute and 40 to go. It's, you're basically, you're just in a situation anyways where you're falling and hoping they miss their free throws.
3-point play, that's over and back if you want to call that. And we're going the other way, Centralia basketball. What a mental error for the Lady Hawks. But Centralia leads by 15. It's 1:22 left.
That one kind of hurts, We've seen the Hawks come out, play real well, real athletic team, good team. You'd like to see them finish strong on some level and not just make these types of mistakes.
So Shoots saying hold it for one shot. Might as well just secure this win. No sense in pounding it in. There's a travel from Monty Cooper. A little bit frustrated, but hey, they're up 15. 1 minute left in this one. 73-58, the Centralia Lady Trailblazers lead it. And great execution down the stretch for the Blazers. Not so much for the Lady Hawks, who were looking great in the first quarter especially, but Higginbotham bricks that one. So the ball gets tipped from Monty Cooper. And we're going in Centralia's direction. Cooper looking to inbound. Looking, gets it to Kenny, who is caught with some contact. But at this point, it's all but over. 35 seconds left. Centralia, they're going back to the tournament. That's sweet. You knew they, oh my goodness. Foul there as Tiana Thompson's just caught in midair. But they went last year, and for as much as this team's been through, they started out with, 11, 12 members, but they have 7. Early on in the season, they lost a lot of their rosters. 7 players to get to this point. You knew they weren't going to be going away quietly, and they're not going away at all just yet. They're going to move on.
Yeah, definitely a real special team. A lot of real athletic players, also real shape. I know a lot of people here. I know me. We doubted 7 players. Can you play well with 7 players? Can you? You have a real disadvantage just being fresh, just taking that break. But a team in real good shape, real athletic, and fundamentally very good. We've seen Coach Schutz, assistant coaches Caleb Salas and Joe Milton. Obviously, coach this team up very well.
They've been amazing. Schutz's system with what he's worked. And say this too, the Lady Trailblazers in great conditioning shape. With 7 players, you have to, or else you're going to get gassed quick. You're going to lose ball games. But you see Susan Kenny, she's out there the whole time, and she barely has a sweat when she's done with the ball game. She's out there for all 40 minutes, and great coaching, great practices to get the conditioning in and making sure the girls are in shape, and a great system, which has been proven time and time again.
Oh, so we have a block at the top of the key. Kenny gets it. This game's, I suppose they're just going to wrap it up.
Yes, 16-point lead for the Trailblazers are just confirming on the location of the NWAC tournament. Everett is the location where the Trailblazers are headed next. They win the regional one at home, a 16-point victory. They're moving on, and they're darn happy about it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, real exciting. Definitely, I'd say probably the best team we've seen them play so far, and they still put them away. So, I mean, you got to like their chances going into the tournament up in Everett.
It was definitely, there were some questions at certain points, especially in the first half, the first quarter. But the Blazers showing that second half oomph and really punctuating this one and punching their ticket to Everett. So a 74-58 win for the Centralia Trailblazers. In this regional matchup, they were lucky enough to host it, and they gave the fans exactly what they wanted. A win, and they're off to the playoffs. So, as looking over the final tallies, Mark, let's go over the scoring totals for Centralia and the Columbia Basin Hawks.
In double digits for Centralia with the leading scorer, Tiana Thompson, with 18, shooting 8 for 9 from free throws, 5 for 7 from total field goals. Also in double digits, Monty Cooper with 16, Sorensen with 11, Alicia Sorensen with 11, Susan Kennedy with 13. On the other side, we see Kayla Jones, leading scorer with 12 after scoring 11 in the first half. We don't see anybody else in double digits, but we do see Caballero with 9, and who's that? Ellison with 8.
So one thing to note here, 10, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 11 players, for the Columbia Basin Hawks played tonight. But the depth, just like it's proven to been, has not been that much of a factor against the Centralia Trailblazers with how conditioned they've been. And one thing, Tiana Thompson, at first, in the first half especially, wasn't really hitting her shots. But when she got to the free throw line in the second half especially, she was hitting her shots and she was getting trips to free throw line and just making good on all but one. 8 for 9, that's clutch.
Well, think about this. In the total game, in the total game, 24 points from free throws, shooting 64.9%. But there you have Thompson shooting nearly 90%.
37 free throws for the Lady Blazers in this one. Monty Cooper gets a nice double-double, 16 and 13 rebounds, 18 points and 11 rebounds for Tiana Thompson. So the post really came through for the Lady Blazers tonight, and Monty Cooper's usually always solid, but you never really know exactly how much of a contribution you're going to get from those two. But they came up huge tonight, and it's a 16-point victory for the Centralia Trailblazers.
Yep, thank you for listening, and make sure to check in on this team on the internet about how they do in this tournament in Everett.
So at the NWACS in Everett, The Lady Trailblazers going to try to go as deep as they can, and another trip, and it feels sweet. Thank you so much for everything this season. Viewers, listeners, have a great year, and hopefully we'll see you next.
Thanks for listening.